Hello everybody! Let's check and make sure that we're live, and let's turn on some music. We can't stop the music, start the music. Yep, we got audio. Okay, we've got audio, we've got video, we got audio video disco. Let's put on some Approaching Nirvana. And let's do Horizons. Why not? Nice album there. Let's turn down the audio there. There we go. What's up, Fluffy Neek? Welcome. You've got me. I don't know what that means, but don't know what you mean by that, but yeah. And today I am wearing some new earrings that I recently purchased from Amazon. They're super cute. This is one of them. Really, so it's a whole collection of really cute earrings. There's just one teeny tiny problem that I have, and that's that these specific earrings. I got like a collection of 40-something earrings, but these are the only ones that are asymmetrical. All the others, nice and symmetrical designs. But these ones, they're both left bananas. Why would you make earrings that are asymmetrical where they're both left bananas? Yeah, why make banana earrings that are both left? Just, no. Ears are symmetrical. The earrings should be too. So, the weirdest part is none of the other designs are asymmetrical. Okay, there's one that has like a cat with like the tail curling in. Those are asymmetrical. But like, it's not nearly as much of a problem as like these ones where the whole thing is asymmetrical. It's like, why are these both left bananas? Okay, I should save my progress, because I have been making tons of progress on Pandemic. Because I think this needs to go to next 2. Yes. Which means this needs to be bumped up by 6. So that way the box encompasses the whole room. Very nice. We're going to save that. Okay. So let's see. Oh, and real quick before we get too far, Fluffy Neek, something I just realized. So there's a creature called a shulker in Minecraft. Here it is. Here's what it looks like, and I want you to listen to the noises that it makes. Let's just turn up the audio of creatures. Come on. Okay, that's one of them. We're gonna wait for the specific sound. Come on, what's the sound? Okay. The noise that... What's up, CJ Purple Princess? Good to see you. Okay, it's not that one either. There's a very specific one that I found was very funny as I was doing my Hindi lessons with Duolingo. Okay. So this thing is called a shulker. That. It sounds like the Hindi word for cat, which is bilya. Yeah, bilya. See? So shulkers are just saying the word cat over and over and over in Hindi. How cool is that? Okay, anyways. Just wanted to point that out. I thought it was funny. Okay, anyways. Let's turn that music back on. Okay. So, we're calling this stream Pandemic or Bust. Yeah, it's rather delightful. So, I'm calling the stream Pandemic or Bust because we're gonna be working on Pandemic. Pandemic is almost done, and we're gonna work on it until it is done. Basically, this stream only ends if A, Pandemic is done, like ready to upload to the server. The actual uploading, I might not do that on camera, but I'll like do all that stuff. Or 2, I collapse from exhaustion. Those are the only 2 ways that this stream ends. So, yeah, we're doing one of those fun, fancy marathon streams. And today I'm also wearing banana earrings. My only problem with these earrings is that they're asymmetrical. They're both left bananas. Why would you make earrings? Like, ears are symmetrical. Why are the earrings unsymmetrical? Or asymmetrical? It's awful. All the other I have like a collection of 40 other designs, which are all symmetrical. And I just got a text message. What's up with that? No. I do not know this number. I shall respond later. It's just somebody saying hello. So, whatever. Anyways. So the one thing that really needs to be left to program is the beginning of the game. So that's the setup board function that I'm building up here. First thing you do, place a research station at the city of Atlanta, which is what this stuff does. The next step is placing all the initial diseases in all the cities. From there, we need to modify the deck to insert epidemics into the draw deck. So we're going to do that like this. So we gotta figure out how to actually make epidemics do their thing. So first we're gonna call this, the item name is gonna be item.card.epidemic. And then we're gonna have the item model, which is gonna be pandemic/epidemic. Is it epidemic or epidemic card? I forget. About 6. Let's see. Okay. Texture pack. Okay. Textures. Oops, not there. Item. Pandemic. Epidemic card. Okay. And most likely the name file is also called epidemic. Okay. Nope, just epidemic. Okay, call it epidemic card then. Alright, cool. And then this needs to have custom data. That being that, first of all, this is labeled as a city card and an epidemic. I think the rest can be figured out from there. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that's all that needs to be done here. And then we need to turn on no gravity. And now based on that, okay, so we need to summon an armor stand at the location 0250 with all this info. So this is adding an epidemic card to the deck. Okay. So if you need one epidemic card, one more, we add that. And then we just copy this over and over for however many epidemic cards that we have. And actually, one thing I do want to check and make sure, how many cards can we have in our draw pile? Because that's going to make a difference as to what happens here. 107. Okay, so that means we need to modify the epidemics and make sure it's capped. The number of epidemics is capped at 6. So we gotta do 1 through 5. More, and then 6 is the max. Okay. Cool. Let's turn down the music so that way y'all can hear my soothing voice. Okay. Okay, so for 3 or more, oops. No. And then from there, we got 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So this now introduced a way to insert epidemic cards into the draw pile. Oh, didn't need to do that. Okay. So we have that as our initial setup. And players are not going to be able to draw epidemic cards as their first turn, which is good. We do not want that. Okay. Okay, so let's see what else is in this rulebook. So we did this, and then random person starts, and then epidemic cards, shuffle them in, divide into face down piles, yada yada yada. That's just overcomplicating random. Okay. Cool. In that case... Okay. Let's check that we got some last few things involved. So you have the 4 actions thing. We have epidemics. We have the hand limit. We have infections. And then event cards. That's outbreaks. Any player. Playing an event code is not an action. Awesome. Okay. Oh, one last thing we need to do. One of the critically important things is we need to assign roles. Okay. So, how do we do this? Let's see if we can figure this out. There's only 7 roles. So, now we're going to do distributing the roles. Okay. So now let's see. We're going to do in board games pandemic, run summon, armor stand, add 0 to 550. Okay. This is the critical thing that's going to make everything actually work. Okay, so we're going to call this distribute roles, no gravity, yada yada. Okay, cool. This is going to hold the role. Role, I believe is the thing is called. Item, pandemic, roll card. Okay. Okay. Now we go into over here, roll card. Excellent. Okay. So this is where we get to some interesting stuff. So one of these is going to be contingency planner. Let's go down the list of each one. And the lore in the roll card is going to be the thing that explains what the heck this even is. So basically what to do what you can do as part of your actions. Okay. And I did actually modify a bunch of these actions to adapt them better to Minecraft, simply because a lot of the complications introduced are something that I don't know how to program, or that I think are kind of silly. So, contingency planner. You may store one additional card in your hand. You may have one more card in the hand limit at a time. And then furthermore, we say that okay. And then also right click the roll card on your turn. You may right click the roll card to rummage through the player discard deck and add a chosen card to your hand. You may not do this if you're already at your hand limit. Okay. So you may not do this if you're already at your hand limit. So on your turn, you may right-click the roll card to rummage through the player discard deck and add a chosen card to your hand. You may not do this if you are already at your hand limit. Okay. And I'm going to specify here as well that this does not count as an action, because you are limited to 4 actions per game. So this does not count as an action. Okay. Cool. And that is... So that is role number 1. Contingency planner. Okay. So there are 7 total roles. Okay, before we get too far with the details of each role, let's implement the system to distribute. Actually, you know what? Let's dig into the roles. Never mind. I just changed my mind. We're gonna dig into each role now. Okay. So this is not. Next one is going to be. Okay. That's role number 1. Role number 2 is Dispatcher. Punch a player with the roll card in hand to move as that other player. You may only make movements, and you use your own hand of cards for relevant card-based movements. And then we add a thing here where if Unlimited Dispatcher is enabled, you may make all of your actions as the other player. Oh, and okay. Okay. Right click with the roll card to switch back to moving as your own token. Okay. You may only make movements, and you use your own hand of cards for relevant card-based movements. Right-click with the roll card to switch back to moving as your own token. Or to return to moving as your own token. Okay. And then also, if anything seems confusing, just let me know, please, like, as I'm writing this, because that would be really nice for the purposes of, like, because these are supposed to be player instructions. You need to understand what you're supposed to do. So unlimited dispatcher setting, that's a setting, is enabled. Then you make all of your actions as the other player. You will receive the other player's hand. And roll. Okay. Cool. So dispatch is kind of cool. Okay, let's actually delete all these. Just make it clear where we're at. Okay, so this is dispatcher. And also, this is going to help with okay, so we need to do a similar sort of thing with giving. Like, if you're dispatcher and you complete to take control of someone else's hand, then you still need to have the dispatcher roll. That way you understand what needs to be done. Oops. Okay. So we have lore, we have custom data, we have item name, and we have item model. There we go. So basically, we just need to copy everything that we've done here, but now it's a /give command. Dispatcher, and this one is a temp card, which is going to be taken away as soon as you decide that you no longer need it. Okay. And then we have, wait, no, that's lore. We need this in the item name, and then this is text. Okay. So line 1 is this. And then line 2 is this. Okay. Okay. So that's in our special events, special abilities as a dispatcher. Okay. It's role, temp, dispatcher, and temp card. Beautiful. Okay. There we go. That is that done. Okay. So that is the dispatcher. Next is the medic. Okay. So the medic is pretty powerful. When you treat disease, when you do the treat disease action, you remove all the cubes of that color from the city you are in. Remove all the cubes of the chosen color from the city you are in. So that's if a disease has not been cured. But if a disease has been cured, you automatically remove all the cubes of the cured disease from the city you are in. This does not take an action. Without requiring an action, even if it is not your turn. Without requiring an action, regardless of whose turn it is. So the medic is pretty nuts. Okay. I mean, all of these rolls get pretty nuts. I think medic and maybe dispatcher are probably my favorites. And actually operations expert, which is the next one. So look at that. Operations expert. Okay. So what does the operations expert do? As an action, you may right-click this roll card to place a research station at the city you are in. Does not require a card. And then as an action, you may if you are currently at a research station, you may discard any city card in order to transport anywhere via the name of, so this is the charter flight is what it's called. Which is going to be like the charter flight action. Okay. You may discard any city card in order to transport to a city of your choosing, like the charter flight action. Okay. Yep. Okay, so as an action, you can right-click the roll card to place just plop down a research station right here. And then if you're currently at a research station, you can discard any city card in order to transport wherever you want. In order to teleport your token wherever you want. Okay. So that is the operations expert. This should be the 7 rolls. There we go. Okay. Quarantine Specialist. Also crazy powerful. So the Quarantine Specialist prevents placement of disease cubes and outbreaks in the city you are in and in all cities connected to the one you are in. And then I believe this also impacts epidemics, which is insane. Does it? Let's see. Did I already put that in? So you're not going to be able to... Yep. Okay, cool. It does impact epidemics. So it prevents placement of any disease cubes and outbreaks in the city you are in and all cities connected to the one you are in. Pretty straightforward. Basically, your location is key. So quarantine plus dispatcher, oh boy, that is a powerful combo. Like with the dispatcher, you can basically just block all placement of, like, you can dispatcher plus quarantine specialist. That most often times the dispatcher is probably going to be moving the quarantine specialist around. And same with the medic, because if a disease is cured, then dispatcher plus medic, the medic is basically a vacuum for the diseases. That one's pretty straightforward. Next up is researcher. This one's going to be the most confusing to explain. So let's see how to do that. Okay, so when sharing knowledge, you may give or receive any city card. Yeah, this is unnecessary because how else is the transfer supposed to happen? So, when sharing knowledge, you may give or receive any city card. I feel like that's pretty straightforward, because normally you both have to be in the city, in the particular city, and you can only pass that one card back and forth to each other. Whereas here, you can just receive any city card you want. But this is also something that I am not going to attempt to enforce one way or the other, because I don't know how, and I don't want to bother trying to figure out how. So, gentleman's rules, only do that if you're the researcher. And last one is scientist, which is you need one fewer card. You need one fewer city card of a color to cure that disease. Or when curing a disease, you need one fewer city cards of that color. Cool. Yeah, researcher and scientist are, I guess, kind of the, like, compared, they're not, like, weak roles. Like, they do very much have their function. But I think maybe compared to the other ones, like, probably not the best. But that's fine. Not everybody can be medic. Yes, I have biases. Or the really long one is the dispatcher, which essentially lets you take lets only the dispatcher take 2 turns if they wish to. Like, they could basically take 1 action from a bunch of different people's turns. So, dispatcher is pretty powerful. They're all pretty powerful, but yeah, I think researcher is probably the weakest. Medic is probably the strongest. Yeah. Okay. So now with the roles figured out, we need to actually distribute these to the player. Okay, so we're gonna tag at E equals pandemic in dimension. Tag equals distribute roles, add extract card.
What are you afraid of?
Okay.
I'm lost in old ways.
Okay. And then we're gonna do
I'm not afraid.
executing as a random player. Okay. Then we got to do the standard drop a card at the player's feet. So that's pop drop player. It's this sort of thing. So assign this to a random player. Card me from extract card. Then remove the tag of card me. And we're going to kill the extract card.
They talk about another kind of world. Another kind of world.
What are you afraid of?
Actually, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna tag a random player, but who has add rolled. New role, and then we're gonna execute at the player. New role. Okay. And then we're gonna do tag equals new role, add rolled, and remove new role. There we go. Okay, so similar kind of thing that has as we have to do with the secret missions in Risk. So choose a random card, choose a random player to receive this card. We're gonna do limit equals 1, sort equals random. And then at this random player, drop a card at their feet, extract the card from the armor stand, remove the tag, kill the armor stand, add the, say that you have now been rolled, and then remove that roll. Okay. And then if there is nobody named roll, or if there is nobody named new roll, then we're going to see what happens. Nothing. Okay, beautiful. So that means we just gotta do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just do this 7 times. 5, 6, 7. And then kill off all the other rolls. Okay. And I believe that's it. And with that, we can go over here and check off the final thing in the grand to-do list. All of the signs are dark, which means, in theory, this game should be ready to test, which is very exciting. Okay. So before we get too spicy here, we need to go into begin round and place in the redstone blocks that are going to actually do what we're trying to do. Let's get in board games, pandemic. We gotta place 2 redstone blocks here and here for the displays and the triggers. And 1256.6. There we go. So we're gonna place redstone blocks there. And then all the others need to be sandstone. There we go. There we go. This powers on the game. And then from there, when we end the game, whether you win or lose, we need to then power off the game. So we'll just go over here and do one of those. Do 1156. There we go. Okay. We don't need a Wolfram script. I want a notepad, a text file, endround.mc function. Okay, we're just gonna have one mutual thing for both. Function pandemic end round. So whether you win or lose, it's going to do the same thing. Function pandemic end round. Okay, there we go. So then we got to do tag at a. Pandemic in dimension tag equals your remove any kind of puppetry that was going on, because that's what I'm calling it when the dispatcher is acting as you. Oh, hello, are we live? Have we returned? Are we back? Just suddenly dropped out there for some reason. Okay, so that's that, and then let's see. Okay, so maybe as part of setup board. Initialize diseases. Okay. That way in the end round it can just do whatever it wants. Okay. Cool. Oh, and we also need to kill all the draw piles. So we need infection draw cards, infection discard cards, and then player draw cards and player discards. There we go. We're then gonna clear out okay. Actually, that should be done with the beginning of the next round. Okay. And then initializing the diseases. Okay. So that's that. And then initializing the diseases is placing concrete over here. In board games, pandemic. If the particular block is an amethyst block, place a 2160 minus 9, a yellow concrete. Okay. We got the black, we've got the red, and we got the pink. Alright, and each of those are going to correspond to these amethyst blocks, which dictate whether or not you even have those particular diseases. So that's minus 265. And there we go. 59, 58, 57, 56. Beautiful. Okay, cool. At which point we power on the game, we initialize the diseases, and that's that. Okay. Cool. What else do we need to do? Oh, we need to also initialize the scoreboards for that. I believe it's number of cards or cards needed? Cards needed. Okay. Initializing them all at 5. Okay. Blue, black, red, and pink. There we go. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Okay. Is this it? I think this is it. All we need to do now is just hook up a master reset button in order to just cover up in case we immediately run into any like game-breaking crashing problems, which we most definitely are. Like, that's basically guaranteed. There's like, I've tested very, very little of this program so far, so it's very likely, like, I don't see anything too badly going wrong with the. I'm gonna totally jinx things right now. Okay, you ready for this? This is my prediction. Things aren't gonna go too wrong with the game itself. It's just not going to start up. Like, something's gonna screw up in the starting portion. That is my prediction. let's see what comes of it. Oh, and before we do that, we do function board games active off / pandemic. Okay. And then we also rig that into the master reset. So we do okay, so first we gotta delete all the player tags 6 and 7, and then also remove your turn and puppet. And then we're going to clear everybody's inventories. We're going to kill everything. Literally everything in the dimension. And then we gotta reset this. So, oh, and we also do scoreboard players reset ptemp. And scoreboard players reset at E. What few entities remain, all the scores are going to be reset, and we do all of that. Okay. Then from there, in board games, pandemic, run set block. Place a redstone block right here at this structure block, which is going to determine everything. Okay. Basically resetting everything back to this state right now. So this needs to be on strict placement, include entities, because I do not want to be redoing the armor stands there. We've got the nether star in there. Got our armor stands in place. We've got the text displays in place right here. And then we got a registration. All we need now is just a rule book. That is something I'm going to do off camera. That is not counted in the pandemic or bust. But we are going to put a sign right here that says, oops, how to play. How to play. Okay. Okay. And with that, okay, so let's first hit reload. Make sure we don't have any critical errors. Looks like we do, so let's fix those up before we get into the testing phase. So in modify infection deck, oh, I have the dash on a stick rather than underscore. Okay. In the modify player deck, probably similar mistake. Yep. Okay. There we go. And then also setup board. What's screwed up here? Unknown variable. On line 119. Where's 119? Down here. Predicate. There we go. It's not predicate, it's predicate. Okay. Well, that's good. No crazy typos. Okay, reload. Cool. And with that, Not every first test is going to work. Yup. Okay, so now here's what we're gonna do. As we enter the world, we're gonna hit this button to create backup and load. We're on hour number 1, so perfect. I'm gonna get a quick bathroom break, and then we'll get into the testing. Wow, almost half a gig. At least this single player version of the Card Game Hub is almost half a gig. Over half a gig, I think. Yikes. Okay, so we got that. We've got the begin round. Oh, I just realized something actually. Decided not to steal a chair. Okay, I realized something. I forgot to actually program in the realistic politics. Let's do that real quick. That should be nice and quick. Okay, nothing too serious there. Oops. Okay. So I guess we can just stick this outside here, which is realistic politics.mc function. So every turn, that's what these chances do their thing. So then we do function, pandemic, realistic politics. If this block. Which block is it? It is this one. -156.5. Okay. So realistic politics is going to work on a lot of random chance stuff to basically mess up the game pretty badly. So every turn, there's a 1 in 10 chance that an eradicated disease downgrades to cured, which is people stop vaccinating, and a 1 in 10 chance that a cured disease downgrades to normal. Basically, people refuse to follow health advice. So we'll need to do some game testing with this mode to see if 1 in 10 is something that happens often enough to be annoying, but not like it should happen often enough to be annoying, but not too often that you're just gonna lose every game. Like this is meant to make the game ridiculously harder. It is meant to make the game harder, but not impossible. So first thing we need to do is get a random number generator, and then store results score ptemp p random num random value. I think that's the way. Random value. Okay, 1 in 10. Cool. So these need to be 2 different rolls of the dice, so to speak. Okay. Oh, and then we also need to choose a second random number for which disease to downgrade. Okay. So this needs to be well, I guess if you roll something and it ends up being you get lucky, then you get lucky. Okay. So then we're gonna store result square p temp p random num2. We're gonna choose between the 5 diseases. Pick a random disease. Okay. So actually this is going to be picking a random disease. So I pick a random disease. Okay, so that's 656.5. So we're gonna do execute if score p temp p random num2 matches 1. Set block 656.5 to an amethyst block. 3, 4, 5. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So we pick a random disease to update, and then we're going to run the function. Is it in the displays? I believe so. So this is demote status. Cool. Okay. Okay. So then if score p temp random num number 1 matches 10, then we run. So we want a 1 in 10 chance. You know what? Let's actually roll between 1 and 100, because this will let us control things much better. We want a 1 in 10 chance. So we run the function pandemic the displays disease demote status. Okay. At which point we're going to execute in board games pandemic. Run fill 656.5, 665 with sandstone. And then we do the same thing again for so essentially we're just going to pick 2 random. We're basically going to do this demotion twice. That's all it means. So it's scoreboard objectives, remove p random num, remove p random num2. There we go. And that's that. All right. That is realistic politics. Okay. Cool. So that's that done. Okay. So now, oops. that. Okay. So now what we should do is run the function AAA activate game, because there might have been some scoreboard objectives that I forgot to list here. There are 26 objectives to make this game work. I believe that's the largest number that has ever been in any of the games. Possibly. Okay. So let's see. So we have choose option, city ID on the card. Yep. Wait, why is city ID on the card? Do we actually need that? Okay. Let's check, make sure we don't have any extra ones that are unnecessary. We have the hand limit, outbreaks, connection ID, number of player actions, pink cards needed, the modifier book, use token, red amount, pink amount, black amount, deck sizes, research station age, number of players, black cards needed, city ID, yellow cards needed, red cards needed, and player action. The action that you choose. And these are different things. The player action versus choose option, different things. Okay. Cool. And then we have the 5 different ones for number of cards that you need, as well as the 5 different ones for amounts. Okay. That is a lot of scoreboards. So, what's up, Mr. Panda? We are doing Pandemic or Bust. This stream does not end until either A, the game Pandemic is done, like ready to upload to the server, or B, I collapse from exhaustion. That's it. So we're now in the phase where we're testing the game. Or we're soon going to be testing the game. So I'm going to reload the texture pack. And no immediate problems. Totally realistic map. Yep, this is exactly the map of the board game Pandemic. I literally just went on Google, searched up Pandemic board game map, and yoink. So it's plagiarism, except I'm totally slaying while doing it. Hence why I call it slagiarism. That's what this is. Okay. So let's set a spawn point here. Right there. And now we send in the bots. Or bring in the secondary players. Okay. Let's see what we can close to try to relieve some pressure off of my computer. Because that's going to be definitely necessary. Okay. We're going to want the game output here, but we can close the other Minecraft launcher. Okay. I'm now opening up Multi-MC. Multi-MC is pretty awesome, because it allows me to run players in offline mode, and then I can have multiple players on the same world at once, both controlled by me, so that way I don't have to... I can do testing in single player, which is pretty awesome. Alright. Here we go. So our first playthrough is going to have none of the settings enabled. That is intentional, because I don't want things to get too goofy right away. You could close an easy Python or just Minecraft or JS Minecraft cracked launcher with JS. It would be Mindflayer. Okay, well, I don't want that. I don't care for cracked. I really do not care about having cracked accounts. That is completely unnecessary. So I will not do it. It's a bit like AI, you know? Like, it is a... I get that it's a tool, but I will not use it. I have no use for it. Okay. There we go. Oh, and we need to... So this is also a good reminder to update the texture pack. So that way we get the latest version. The last update was in July 12th, which I believe was when I was still working on Cripple Mr. Onion. Or attempting to, at least. Okay. So we need to compress this file, and then we need to hop into texture packs over here, open the pack folder, and I think we also need to upload to Dropbox. That way it can directly upload from there. Is it Dropbox? Yes. Okay, cool. So now we await for this zip file to zip itself up. Okay, I will say, I like the fact that this this world map has New Zealand. New Zealand is missing from so many different world maps that it's honestly a little bizarre. Like, why do so many map makers hate New Zealand? I don't know what's wrong with that. But yeah, Pandemic has New Zealand, which I'm very happy to see. Okay. Sundown. Is this the last song on the album? I think it might be. Nope. There's one last song. Okay. We're gonna minimize that. Call this thing Game Textures. Okay. So now we're gonna plop it into here. Replace the file. And we're also going to copy to Dropbox and replace it. Okay, cool. Nice and easy. Okay. So close that, close that. Then we need to do that. Nope. Need to reload textures. Yeah, New Zealand win. I didn't have to awkwardly Photoshop New Zealand into the world map. Which is what I did with the Risk board, because Risk does not have New Zealand. So I added New Zealand in an awful, terrible place, and it's ridiculously huge, and I did that for comedic effect. Okay, there we go. So now the Pandemic textures are on display. Okay. Here we go. And so the texture pack is ready to go. Before we upload to the server, we need to have this this function AAA deactivate game ready to, we need to actually place that in. In fact, let's do that now. While I still remember. Okay. Okay. So this is just deleting all, mostly it's deleting all the scoreboards and all the initialized scoreboards and all that sort of stuff. But we are also going to run the function pandemic master reset and replace dummy with nothing, replace trigger with nothing, and then also delete that. There we go. Oh, and also we'll replace every add with remove. There we go. So it just removes all those things and does a master reset. Cool. That's a lot of scoreboards, holy smokes. Okay. There we go. Now we're gonna reload. Make sure we don't have any game-breaking bugs. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Remember what I said to totally jinx this testing? What I said was a prediction that nothing will go too terribly wrong with the game mechanics themselves, but it's not going to turn on when I push the start button. Like, something's going to go wrong with either distributing the roles or placing the cities or something. Okay? Because that's the most common problem I run into, which is that for whatever reason the cards just aren't given out, or the game ends prematurely because it thinks something went, because it's being derpy or something like that. The one mechanic that I think potentially could cause problems is the hand limit. So I guess that's another source of potential difficulty. What I'm predicting is going to be the biggest difficulty is the hand limit. But predictions or not, we've got to push the button. So for pushing the button, let's turn on some different music. Let's turn on, because I suspect once we start testing things out, it's going to be a while. But that's why we call it Pandemic or Bust. So I'm going to turn on Block in the Sky, and then I'm also going to add Block in the Sky Redux. Because I want to just set this aside and minimize. Here we go. Okay. Whew. Let's make sure the stream setup is good so y'all can see both sides of the screen. And thus, the testing begins in 3, 2, 1, blam. Not enough players. Okay, that's on me. Also, I realized I forgot something. I forgot to remove the sign when the game actually turns on. Okay. Which is 957 minus 4, error. Okay, that doesn't count. Because we technically didn't actually start up the game. Okay, reload. Okay, both players need to register as players. One's black, one is red. Oh shoot, I also forgot another thing. Actually placing the characters. Whoops. Okay. So then we need to do, okay. So this should go into the start game. Let's do, yeah, let's put that in setup board. Yeah, I forgot to actually place the character tokens. So we're gonna do pandemic in dimension, tag equals player1, run, we need to summon an item display. We're gonna place this at Atlanta because that's where it's the headquarters of the CDC, and it's also where all the players start. Scores equals P city ID equals 12. Okay. Let's actually put this ahead of this. So then we need to summon an item display. Let's actually figure out how to do this now. Okay. So this is /summon item display. So this is going to be the item. There's going to be a paper item, which is tagged as player1 token. Equals player tokens, and then player tokens. Okay. So this is player1 token and then also player tokens. So this needs item model. Bam. We're gonna add pandemic slash. Okay, I don't think we need the Java outputs anymore. We primarily just need the texture pack info. So let's do that. Minecraft, textures, item, pandemic, and that is, okay, token player1. There we go. So it's going to have that item model. And that's basically it. Okay, and then we need to transform it. So that way it actually, A is standing up and B is actually useful. Okay, so let's pop into our 3D rotation converter. We want to rotate 90 degrees this way, I assume. Okay. Okay, so we need 7071, 0.7071. Okay. Player tokens. Okay, there we go. Now the guy's standing up. So then we need to shift up. And of course that guy's going to be a little bit huge. But that's fine. Oh, and also needs to be billboard vertical. Here we go. Okay, that's no bueno. So we need to scooch you further in here. Nope, wrong way. There we go. Yay! La 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 la. Okay, beautiful. Nice. Got the little guy. Okay, and this guy's gonna be towering over everything, but that's fine. That is on purpose. Because you need to be able to see your player tokens. So yeah, 0.5 and 0.5. Cool. Okay, here we go. So that's the player 1 token. Now we need to do the same thing for players 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. There we go. And call it player 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. Hello? Hello? Are we back? I seem to have cut out there. And there's probably going to be another cutout pretty soon, if that blip is any indication. I mean, I guess technically that is technically another way for this stream to end, is if the universe just decides to stop me. Yay, I'm back. Yeah, I guess that's another way for the stream to stop, is if the universe stops me. Okay. So, reload. Here we go. Here we go. Now, let's make sure that we have no problems. Here we go. Now for real this time, that still did not count as a start. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Loading. Okay. That's a good sign. We have all our cities. All the cards are being placed in. Good. We have our characters. Good. Okay. And we got whipped fungi on sticks. Beautiful. Okay. And I got scientist role. Okay, so the roles work. Punch a player with, and this one is the dispatcher, which is very good, because dispatcher is also probably going to be one of the more complicated ones. Okay. Right. So, what the heck is up with that? First of all, did the cards initialize? Okay, good. Okay, good. And we have 7 empty spots for epidemics. These are the infection cards. Oh. Okay. Cool. Okay. So even though we got all the pink cards, let's see. Tag equals infection draw 1. What's in your equipment.main hand? Okay. So all the info did transfer. That's good. Okay. How about player? How about the player draw? Yes. Okay. So that means the issue here is that. So that means the issue here is in the pop draw. Actually, no. Well, we don't know if the issue is pop draw or the start. And I suspect it's the start. It's usually what it ends up being. From equipment of main hand. No? Okay, this time it's not. Why is Lima out of South America? Well, it is in South America. It's right here. The issue is that the little circles would have been too close together. That's the only reason they're slightly out of the range. So why is it doing that? Lima, Peru. Yep. Oh, and yo, we actually get to test this. Okay, so we have 3 in Mumbai, 2 in Chennai, 2 in Johannesburg. We have 3 in Shanghai, 1 in Kolkata, 1 in Manila. We have 2 in Miami. And okay, so let's make sure that we have 3 cities have 3, 3 have 2, 3 have, and 3 have 1. Let's see. So that's 1, 2. Oh, okay. We also have 2 in New York. Okay. Do we have any in Atlanta? Okay, well, it would have stuck out from the research center if it did. Okay. So we have, actually, this board should tell us. Okay, so that means something. Oh! Hold up. 4, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Which is what, so 18 total cubes have been placed, which is what happens when you have 3 in 3 cities, that's 9, 2 in 2 cities, 2 in 3 cities, that's plus 6, 9 plus 6 is 15, plus 3 more, plus 1 in 3 more cities, so that's that. Okay, cool. Okay. So this actually did get placed correctly. Well, hot dang. That worked out well. Okay, cool. Okay, so now let's try to solve this problem. Okay. So we have an item called that. And now what I want to do is, instead of temp card 1, let's do maybe player draw 1. Oh. Okay. So that does work. Oh, it might be the dorking around we did with the deck. Yeah, that might be it. Okay. So not necessarily from temp card 1. We need to yoink it from Okay, so we need to do pandemic in dimension, tag equals temp card holders, limit equals 1, sort equals random, add extract card, and then we yoink from extract card. There we go. and then remove that tag. Okay, there we go. That should do it. Okay. We do need to make sure that I don't drop. Actually, hold up. This should not cause problems. And indeed it does not. Okay. It only matters if you drop a city card, because dropping a city card counts as an action. Okay. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to run the function pandemic, the draw and discard, pop, nope, player cards, pop draw. Player. That's 2, 3, and 4, and I drew an epidemic card, which I definitely was not supposed to. So we're going to pandemic, the draw, and discard player cards, push that back onto the draw. Oh, okay. Screwed that up a little bit. We need to put that back on top of the draw pile. There we go. Okay, there we go. So this one's the government grant research, government grant special event. Very nice. And then over here, we're gonna run pandemic, the draw and discard, player cards, pop draw, player, and do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're not supposed to draw epidemic cards, so we're gonna push this back onto the draw pile. This does unfortunately mean that the very next card that we're gonna draw is an epidemic. Actually, I don't think that's unfortunate. It means we get to do some testing. Yay! Okay. Let's pop into adventure mode just to make sure I don't destroy too many things. Okay. Take me to the player 1 token. Over here. Okay. Cool. Right. So we've already run into a problem, which is that I can't actually make any moves. So that means obviously we need to fix the function display options. Okay. That is strange. Okay. So here we ran into problem number 1, which is that we're executing as the player, and we need to actually make sure that we do the proper, we're able to do the proper movements. The map, generate connections. Okay. Going from the connection ID, which is what this is supposed to be. So these are all the connections here. And then Actually, I'm pretty sure we add connection ID to the thing. Yeah. Yes, we do. Okay. Good. Okay. Okay. Let's go through line by line and see why this program is being stupid. This is, of course, the most fun part of any programming. Okay. Let's see what I screwed up. Okay. So, I am player 1, right? Yes. Okay. Is anybody tagged as relevant token? No. Okay. Let us correct that. And let's tag you as a relevant token. Okay. And then we need to grab the city ID. Oh, I see what's going on here. Scoreboard, players set the city ID to 12. Okay. Ah. Okay. That's a good sign. This is massive amounts of copium right here, but that is a good sign. I will accept that as a good sign. Okay, what went wrong? Okay. So at the start of the game, we need to actually say that these tokens are at location at Atlanta. So that's a screw up over here. So we need to do scoreboard, players set at E, predicate equals pandemic in dimension, tag equals player tokens, set your city ID to 12. Okay, so that's issue number 1. And then issue number 2 is, what are those? Why do we have purple and black squares? They're in the correct locations, I believe, because those are in fact all the cities that are connected to Atlanta. Oh, we were also supposed to be given medical kits. Okay, that's a screw up as well. Pandemic, move here. Something wrong with that? Okay, it's purple and black square. Is it a naming issue? Or did I just forget to code that in as a texture? Let us find out. Minecraft items, pandemic. Oh, it's called move to here. Oops. Okay. So that means we need to go into... Okay. Okay. There we go. And that also means we need to modify our special events. Okay. There we go. Cool. Cool. Okay. So that's that. But now the question is, do we have interactions at these locations? We should. Yes. Excellent. Okay. So that means after this first screw up, things shouldn't be too bad now. Okay. And there's no other research stage. Oh, we also need to quickly make a thing where everybody gets medical kits. Okay. So we need to do /give everybody a warped fungus on a stick. We need item name. We need lore. We need custom data. And we also need an item model. Okay. The item model is going to be pandemic/medical kit. This custom data is medical kit 1B. And then the name is going to be translate item.card.medical kit. And the lore is going to be red click to treat a disease. Actually, the instructions already tell you to do that. So we're not going to do that. Okay. There we go. Nice medical kit right here. Okay, so now we need to give this to another player. There we go. And over here we need to go like this. Pandemic and dimension tag equals player. There we go. Everybody gets a medical kit. Excellent. Okay. So now we have the medical kit. And let's do that. Clear the hitboxes. Oh. Now why am I not glowing? Oh, because I turned off the display things. So I'm now going to flip these levers just so we can actually get the proper experience. So I'm going to go over here to Miami. Oh, let's reload. 3 actions left. Excellent. Okay, so we can go to places. Excellent. Okay. Can I treat this disease? 1. Are you going to let me do that? Hello? Are you going to let me actually do this? Use token returned 0 with no explanation. So that's definitely not supposed to happen. That is not an amethyst block. Okay. Hold on. Is this still good? Okay, so this does yell at me that it's not my turn. Good, okay. So clicking works. Now I am not holding a special event. That is correct. And it's not hand limit issues. Okay. I'm not holding an operations expert. I'm not holding dispatcher. Contingency planner. I'm not holding my roll card. But I am holding my medical kit. Okay. So that means I should be doing player actions, treat disease. Okay. Oops. Wrong folder. Okay. So we're doing player actions, treat disease. I am player 1, so I am the relevant token. And then we're executing as the city this time. So the city of Miami. If there's nothing there, there's nothing to treat. Otherwise, we enable the player action. Add that city as needing to be treated. Ah. Okay. The treat disease is actually in the player action / the treat disease. Okay. Okay. There we go. And each of these does the whole thing. Okay. Cool. Cool. Right, okay. Cool. And let's reload. Okay. So now, treat. I said treat the disease. I said treat the disease. Why can I not treat the disease? Still returning 0. Okay. So what appears to be the problem? Okay, I suspect I'm going to be running back and forth through here a lot. So I'm going to actually knock down this wall, just so that... Okay. I'm going to knock down this back wall here, just so I can run down to here and flip up these levers. Okay. So... why can I not treat this disease? So this is well. Okay. That was the alarm for 9 o'clock. And let's see. Oh, when we rotate the turn, who is this? Ooh. Oh, And Fluffy Neek is watching 2.0. Okay. So I think just throughout here we need to get better about clearing the relevant token thing. Relevant token. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I do a better job about that anyways in other places. So hopefully should be fine. Okay. Player actions. Okay, let's go into treat disease. To reload. Okay, 15. Good. Okay, that's a different number. And I believe that is the... Yep, that is the one from Miami. Okay. So then... So it would execute as the city. Okay. So that means we need to go over here and we need to do execute as at n, tag equals city. Run. The player actions, treat disease, get choices. Okay. Which is currently doing nothing. Okay. Oh, hang on a sec. It's because it's supposed to execute as the player. That's what that is. Okay. Let's find what Fluffy Neek. Okay. Return run, execute as at A. CJ or somebody in the chat, do any of you know what 2.0 means? Apparently Fluffy Neek is watching 2.0, whatever that means. Okay. So that means we need to re-execute as the player. There we go. Watching 2.0. Yeah, okay. CJ doesn't know what you're talking about. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay, so now that we're actually properly executing as the player now, I'm gonna turn these back on. And now, treat disease. I said treat disease. Treat! Why? Okay. Why? Why is this not working? Okay. Adding relevant token. Input the city ID. Okay. Okay. So what seems to be the problem here? Okay. So this place is tagged as city and treat disease. Okay. So now we need to enable that scoreboard. Okay, what? How many diseases do you think you have? So yellow amount is 2. Blue. Oh. Oh, it's not even set. Uh-huh. So we have run into a problem of 0 versus null. Okay. Fine. Execute as at E, tag equals city. Unless your score of yellow amount is 1 or more, scoreboard player set at S, yellow amount to 0. Okay. And I guess we gotta do the same for this. Unless your blue amount is 1 or more, set to 0. Unless your black amount is that. Unless your red amount is that. And then there should be no pink amount, because we have no pink disease yet. Okay. I bet it'll work now. So once again, it's a beginning of the game kind of problem. But now we should be able to go treat. Yes! Okay, we can treat diseases! Booyah! And, okay. Right. So to fix this bug in the future, when we set up the game board, is it finding my PC automatically installs Arch Linux, or is someone hacking me? So, why is your PC installing Arch Linux? Do you have Linux installed? It should not be automatically installing that unless you already have Linux installed. Like that is weird. And that's a very strange hack too. Not sure how you even make that happen. Okay. Let's see. Now it's asking for permission to restart. Maybe don't. Okay, I guess Mr. Panda's about to be live on the show today. Mr. Panda's about to get hacked. I guess. I have no idea what's going on. Anyways. Right. We need to go into the beginning of the game. Okay. And then we need to do scoreboard players set at E. Pandemic in dimension tag equals city. Yellow amount to 0. Basically initialize all the numbers to be 0. Red and pink. Okay, cool. So that'll fix that problem in the future. And now these arrows are a little weird. They don't actually look like arrows. So let's see if we can fix that. Okay. So let's see. Let's pop over here and see what we can find. So we want to change this item display. Okay. So we want it to be maybe half the size. I feel like that would be a good start. Okay. Data merge, entity at n. Tag equals move here. Type equals item display. Oh. Okay. Here we go. On my phone, just gonna ask, why is the wiki like 200,000 words long just for installation? Why can't I restart a forced shutdown with... Oh. Oh, that's bad. Do you have Linux installed? Because I'm pretty sure that is normal behavior if you have Linux installed, but if you don't have Linux installed, that's you getting hacked, buddy. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. So we gotta do this. We need to add on this transformation value here. Oh, okay. So we need to add transformation, and we should also add billboard vertical. Okay, so that's that. And then for all the other situations where we get little arrows, okay. Okay. Oops. Okay. There we go. There we go. And special events. We also have similar things for airlift and government grant. We need to go there and there. There we go. Cool. Now we reload, and they should all work as intended. Okay, so now we need to figure out how to what we're actually going to do now. I guess we can cure this disease as well. And let's go over to Washington, D.C. There we go. Okay. And now it is not my turn anymore. Yay! Okay. Here we go. I have 4 actions. You did not have Linux installed in the first place. You just got hacked. Sucks for you. Okay. Let's see. So I'm the dispatcher. Okay. Oh. Now hang on a minute. It didn't actually rotate the turn properly. Okay. So that is a problem. Yeah, it just straight up didn't even activate the rest of the, like what actually happens on each round. So we gotta fix that now. That directory goes back to Windows. Okay then. Mr. Panda, I do not know how to help you. I'm sorry. But yeah, sounds like you're in for a rough time. Okay. Let's hop into... Okay, so rotate turn. So I have doing the 4 actions. Oh, real quick. Is this properly displaying? Yes. Okay, beautiful. And that's displaying properly. Good. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So, okay, so let's drop it down. Num player actions. Okay, so that's now at 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So for the final act, let's suppose we did actually do that final act. So now it's at 0. Okay, so that test failed. Good. Wait, what? What? Oh, oops. Pandemic? What's pandemic? Oh no. Oh, I screwed up a bunch of stuff. Spelling pandemic. Okay. What are the odds that this works now? Okay. Okay, num-player actions. Let's bump it back up to 1. Okay. I'm now going to assume that this works and see what happens. Okay. So it is the end of my turn, so what should happen is we draw the player cards, which is going to include drawing an epidemic, unfortunately. And then also activate the hand limit, assuming that's relevant, and then also infect cities. Okay. Here we go. Function. You know what, actually? I am so paranoid that... See, the thing is, Pandemic is a really long game, so it's probably best to go one line at a time. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, and then we're gonna get to death. My chair is deskless until you buy a new one for next week. Cool. Nice. Okay. I am so paranoid that this is gonna break that I'm now going to just go one step at a time. Okay. So we set deck sizes to 2. And now we're going to place a redstone block right here. 1556.6. Okay, what's the times? Oh, I forgot to actually program that in properly. Whoops. Let's do that now. This is modified time. This is time to draw a card. So this is in there? No. This is in the draw and discard, draw player cards. Because of course drawing cards is complicated. Oh, and we also need to make sure that One Quiet Night does not stop drawing the cards. That's this guy at 59. There we go. Okay. So then we create the draw timer. Okay. So let's see now. So we're gonna do in Board Games Pandemic if block. Okay. So if that block is a comparator, and then so that's half a second. Half a second is 10 ticks, so we need 9 there. So we have 1/10 of a second, we have half a second, we have 1 second, which is 19. And then we have 3 seconds, which is 59 ticks. And then 5 seconds, which is 5 times 20 is 100, so we go up to 99. And then 10 seconds multiplied by 20 is 200, so 199. There we go. Okay. So then 1/10 of a second is this comparator. And then, okay, then it goes standard. Okay. So then it goes 1 second, and then 3 seconds, then 5 seconds, and 10 seconds. Okay. Cool. All right. There we go. So that setting actually works now. Yay. Okay. So if you run out of cards to draw, then you instantly lose. If you draw an epidemic, then you draw the epidemic. Otherwise, give the card to the player. Okay. And then once you draw all the cards that you're supposed to, stop drawing cards. Okay, cool. Okay. Cool. So we need to actually put another lever here. And now, release the Kraken! Epidemic. Okay, so that is card number 1. Okay, now the question is, where did it go? And then okay. Did this? Okay, let's actually check check the delete card over here. Okay, so we did in fact receive an epidemic. So that means this should not have given us a card, which is correct. Okay. Okay, scoreboard players get P temp deck sizes 2. Okay. So it does. So it did the draw an epidemic as it was supposed to. Okay. So this should execute as the player now. Okay. So then we do function. Oh. Oh. Oops. Infecting cities. Okay. That's why. Okay. But now, if items entity at E tag equals infection discard cards. Okay. So this did not work. It also... Oh. It did update the infection rates. But it did it wrongly. Okay. Okay, so this is supposed to be a gold block. Okay. Let's see. So we said epidemic. And now when we're infecting the cities, we execute this function. Okay. So what we want to do is draw from the bottom. Okay. So now data get entity at E. Let's do it at N. Tag equals draw from the bottom. Show me what's in your main hand. Okay, beautiful. Type A. Okay, so Type A is about to have a bad time. Okay, this card is now supposed to go into the push discard. So let's check up on the infection discard deck. Okay, that is still Type A. Good. Okay. And then we're gonna kill, draw from the bottom. Cool. So we just drew a card from the bottom of the deck. Excellent. And then, okay, so now we need to extract the city. Okay. So this is city number 44, because we don't have the setting to just plop diseases randomly. Okay. Check if what you have is a red, and then okay. Placing a red disease at Osaka. Wait, what? Oh. Osaka? But it says Type A. And why are the cities mismatching now? Because number 44 is supposed to be Osaka. Why is it saying Type A then? Oh, I think it's because the code, my Java code screwed up when I was building the infection decks. Oops. So these are actually incorrect. Oh, buddy. Oh boy. Okay. Oops. Let's do cancel. The city ID on the cards are off by 1. Need to be decreased. Need to add a blank at name shows up as Taipei, but the actual city is Osaka. Okay, that is a pretty major problem for the user. Not for the game though. Okay, so fine, Osaka. A place in a red disease at Osaka. Fine. Okay, we will accept that. Okay. So now we're going to okay. So that places an amethyst there. Okay. And then we do this. Bump up the red amount to 3. Okay. No outbreaks. Okay, that's good. So that means no outbreaks caused by this epidemic. Good. Okay. But that's just one part of the epidemic. Now we need to... Oh, okay, you gotta go. Alright. Sounds good. I will see you later then. Bye, CJ. Okay. So now we need to shuffle the discards. Oh, discards. There we go. Shuffle discards and put them back on the top. Okay, so now tag equals infection discards. Weapon.main hand. Okay, beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to assume that shuffling worked out as it was supposed to. Player draw 1. Oh, wait. We need to do data get entity at end tag equals player 1 draw, or player draw 1. Equipment.main hand. Okay. I'm gonna assume that's fine. Then we pop draw. Yep, okay, so at least that part correctly worked. Okay, at which point we increase the infection rate. Okay. And if it's an amethyst, place a diamond and bump it up. Okay. This part works correctly. This part I did actually test. Okay. We have now successfully drawn an epidemic. Okay, so now we go back to here, decrease 1. Okay. So we have just set off an epidemic. Okay. So let's draw the rest of the cards. Okay. And it just rotated a turn. Again, without announcing where the other diseases were going to be placed. Okay. Right. And then place a sandstone there. Oh, then we have the hand limit. But placing the lever there. Oopsie. Okay. Note to self, don't do that. Okay. Although it is concerning that I did not receive another card. Okay. Let's turn the displays back on. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else we can do here? I guess we can do the actual infect cities stain. Yeah, why didn't that work? Okay. Let's see. And pop draw, push discard. Okay. That's weird. Okay, let's see. Also, it says I have 2 actions left. That is strange. Okay. So first of all, I should have 4 of those. Second of all, we didn't actually do the infecting cities step. So let's do that now. Placing yellow disease at Johannesburg and placing one at Chennai. Don't think that's how that's supposed to work. I think we may have missed. Oops. Okay. 6. 656. 6. Oh no. Supposed to be 656.5. Aha. We have discovered a fatal flaw. Okay. There we go. Okay. That is a very fatal flaw. Okay, but no outbreaks, which is good. That means the fatal flaw in the programming has not triggered an outbreak. That is excellent. That we do need to update this to make sure that we don't accidentally set anything off weird. Okay. And then for outbreaks, I also need to shift it over here. Okay. And over here, we need to shift that. Yeah, and you can also, like, I'm definitely, like, yeah, some of the stuff was done at 2 in the morning, some at 3 in the morning. This is one of those kind of late night projects just because I really wanted to do stuff, and this is a good way to do it. Okay. I'll say most of the work that happened with this particular game happened within the last week. Okay. Righty then. So the infect cities has been done successfully now. So I'm going to give myself 4 actions. Okay. I need to get over to Chennai somehow. Okay. So here's the gentleman's rule here. Let's see, does this work? I need to get to Chennai. So, bam. That did not work. It does not have any tags, really. Well, why the heck not? This is like a critical thing. Okay, so that means share knowledge doesn't work like it's supposed to. Let's see why it isn't. Cosmetic, your turn reminder, display diseases, display deck sizes. Huh. We never actually implemented that. Oopsie. Okay. Stick another command block on top of here. We're now going to execute as at E. Predicate equals pandemic in dimension. Type equals item. Run function. Pandemic. Drop item. There we go. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. That's not good. That is very not good. Okay. That is super not good. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. This should work correctly now. Also, it just rotated the turn 3 times and it didn't actually infect the cities. Okay, so that's an indication that that's gone terribly wrong. Okay. Okay, let's try this now. And we go, boom. 3 actions. Okay, good. So it does actually show up that there's 3. There were 3. That was a share knowledge action. Very nice. Now, if I can please pick up this item, that would be fantastic. Thank you. And in fact, that definitely seemed to have slowed things down, so let's put tag equals not dropped. Oop. Okay. And there we go. So there we go. Now this, I don't know where it's going to teleport me because all the IDs and stuff are off. But right-clicking this should teleport me vaguely in this vicinity. Here we go. I would like to go here now. Okay. Let's see. So I am holding a city card, right? Okay. So that means we need to go into pandemic, display city card, or discard city card. Okay. So let's jump into that and see what's going wrong. Oh, okay. We got another temp city ID thing. So I need to turn off the displays here. Okay. So I am player 2. Set it to 12. And this is where we create city ID on the card. We're now going to store the city ID on the card, which is 30. Okay. Excuse me. So then, if you're at a research station... Okay, so you are in fact at a research station. And... Oh, it's supposed to be p underscore underscore letter. Okay. Okay. And then when we do teleport to card, okay, and then as part of rotate turn, we should be doing scoreboard objectives, remove p city ID on card. There we go. Okay. Actually, now this needs... Yep, okay. So then we display a dialogue. Okay. Let's try that again. So because you're at a research station, when you discard a card, you could either be trying to cure a disease or teleporting somewhere. So let's see what this does. I mean, I said, let's see what this does. There we go. So we have direct flight or discover a cure. So I want to direct flight there. Okay. Player action. Okay, so this is a problem. enable at S player action. Okay, let's try this again. I want to direct flight there. Yes! Okay, nice. Teleportation complete. Okay, I now want to go over here. And here's the ultimate test. Can we cure a disease when there's multiple choices? I want to treat black. Yes! Boom! Okay. Sweet. Okay, so there's just one problem, and that's the rotating the turn doesn't actually give you cards, or so rotating the turn is not giving cards, it's not activating the hand limit, and it's also not not infecting cities. But that's fine. We can figure that out. Okay. So I would now like to go to okay, let's cure. Let's treat the yellow that's not supposed to be there. And let's treat the red that's not supposed to be there. Okay. Okay, so this works now. That's good. The only problem now is this isn't working. That is weird. It should at least be drawing player cards. Why is it not doing that? It's like as soon as the and it's doing this stuff correctly. It's just not doing any of this. Okay. Tag me as your turn. That is correct. I should have zero actions left because I'm supposed to be drawing cards. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So placed one at Miami and one at Osaka. Okay, so it also doesn't outbreak correctly. Ah, why? You jerk. Come on. Why you gotta do this to me? Okay. So that should have been an outbreak. What the heck is going on? Why is that not an outbreak? Alright, not like outbreaks are a good thing, but like, it's supposed to have set off an outbreak. $659.5. Okay. So it's the red amount. Okay. Okay, so Osaka is, I believe, 44. So the city ID is 44. Osaka says hi. Okay. Oh. Ah, that's why. We don't need this predicate at all. Haha. There we go. Because we just gotta do that. And then when we double outbreak, we just check for other cities. Okay, there we go. Okay. Also, issue here with infecting cities. Okay. Okay, I wonder if that's the same problem with the outbreak function here. This needs to be infecting cities. Okay. There we go. Okay. Cool. And that executes as the particular outbreaking city. Cool. Okay. Outbreak. Okay. Nice. Okay. But it did not place the things. Okay. So we have our first outbreak right there, but for some reason it did not actually place the thing. Why did it not place the thing? Okay. So Osaka just did an outbreak. Okay, tag equals outbreaking. Okay. Okay, so we have one thing tagged as outbreaking. Sets the value to 3. We then increment the outbreaks. Okay. Outbreaking. Right. So we set the city ID. It is 44. Excellent. Now we generate the connections. We're going to do our classic thing. is remove city 2, and we also need to kill all the connections. Hold up. Cool. Okay. So we're going to generate the connections. We're going to do a classic thing of extracting information from the connection ID. Okay. City 1 gets that, City 2 gets the other one. Remove the 100, and then we swap if relevant. Okay. Then kill off all the other armor stands. So there should be only a handful of other armor stands. 43 and 45. Okay. As intended. Okay. Oh. This needs to be infecting cities. Okay. I need to remove P City 1 and P City 2. Well, actually, beautiful. Okay. Cool. And then I can recursively do that. Okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. So we've just did some outbreaking. Okay, cool. So outbreak should be working now. Let's turn that back on. Alright, so cool. So still at Chennai. Mumbai is probably going to be next. So let's move over here. Let's cure. Okay. Let's now attempt. Let's now attempt a thing. Oh. Tag equals puppet. Okay. So there is somebody named Puppet. Okay. In which case, we need to display options for the puppet player. Okay. Tag equals puppet, run function, pandemic, display options. So I should now be acting as the puppet player. Okay. Now the question is, Okay, I think I may have actually forgotten to program this correctly. Yeah, because it keeps assuming that you're acting as that player. So I think what we need to do is do the right click. So unless entity at A, pandemic in dimension, tag equals puppet. And then if there is a puppet, then you execute as the puppet. There we go. Because that handles basically all the movements and also all the things, because everything else, like actually decreasing your number of actions, is not specific to the player. It's specific to whoever's turn it is, which would be the dispatcher's turn. Okay. So this should move me. Yes! Okay. Cool. It's still not doing the thing with rotating the turn. Why are you not doing the thing? Okay, let's hop into here and we do, if the score is -2 or more, then return. Okay. Okay, so apparently these return runs are doing jack diddly. That's unfortunate. Okay. Fine. We will test that on the next turn. For now, we're going to take advantage of that bug and try to get to Osaka. Okay. Actually, we need to get to Shanghai. There's 1, here's 2, and treat. And treat. Okay. So we're displaying that we have 0 actions left, but it's not placing the block. Why are you not placing the block? Sets it to 2. So it recognizes that it's supposed to. Oh. Let up. Okay. Okay, that's another misspell. Okay. So I want to call Calcutta and Manila. Cool. Okay. Okay. So it does work. Let's do one last test. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you can handle that on your own. Okay. So let's actually do this. Bam. Okay. You are now my puppet. Oh. Punch with the roll. You are now my puppet. Okay. I'm going to move you here and then to here. And now I'm going to give back control to me. Okay. And what we've just seen here is that you can't give back control. So let's fix that. Special abilities, give cards back. So we remove the puppet, and then we're gonna execute as at a predicate equals pandemic and dimension tag equals your turn. Run function pandemic display options. Okay, and if you chose a different puppet, then it still does that. Okay, excellent. Okay, what happens if I do that? I am currently in control. Okay, display options for me. Set for me. There we go. Okay. Okay, so let's clear out Mumbai. And let's go over to Delhi. Drawing cards. Gives you some time to work out how, if you want to interrupt that process at any point before it actually gives you the cards. Oh, epidemic. Oh crap. Oh no. Wait, how did, what? Osaka, Miami, and Chennai. Oh, it's another epidemic at Osaka. Why did it place a yellow, though? Okay. Let's see what's up with that. Okay. So we're going to pop into infecting cities. Epidemic. Let's see what's up with this. Okay. Okay. So clearly things are still very broken. So what's this? Ah, okay. Osaka, Miami, and Chennai. Wait, which one got the epidemic treatment? Maybe it wasn't an epidemic. Yeah, oh well. Okay, I'm going to change how we display this. Blue epidemic here. Black epidemic. Red epidemic. And pink epidemic. Okay. So we just had another outbreak, and it's unclear how exactly or where that happened. So now it is my turn. So I'm going to cure one from Osaka. Let's actually do 2 from Osaka. Let's now go to Taipei and cure. Let's treat yellow. Drawing cards. Ooh, okay. This is our chance to test out the hand limit thing. Okay. Yellow at Johannesburg, which did properly outbreak, and then red at Manila. Okay. But we still need to discard down to the hand limits. Oh. That should not have been allowed to continue until we drop down to the hand limit. Okay. So that means something in here is going wrong. And that's the hand limit thing. So, let's see. So I have 8 cards. And I am not a contingency planner. So I should be over the hand limit. Okay. This logic is wrong. Okay. So the turn needs to return to me. Actually, we'll resolve this later. Okay. So execute if that's an amethyst block. And then unless entity at s tag equals over hand limit. Okay. Once you are no longer over the hand limit, then rotate the turn. Okay, For now, we shall take advantage of this bug, because we are currently losing, as per usual. Okay. Right, we need to get to Johannesburg. Let's teleport to Kinshasa. There we go. And let's treat yellow. And ooh, Manila's looking bad. Let's take your action, go here to Manila, and then can I cure for you? Yes, okay. So I can still cure for you. I'm not sure that should be happening, but okay. In fact, that definitely should not be happening. Let's fix that. Okay. I should not be allowed to cure for you. Epidemic. Really? Come on. Come on, man. And then placing another red disease at Osaka. Really? Wow. Okay. This game is mean. It is very hard with only 2 players. Okay. Yep. Okay, so it did actually bump up the outbreaks by 2. Fun. Okay. Right. So if you're the dispatcher's turn, you should not be able to use the medic kit. Right. So Terra at S text is okay. So we do if you have a medical kit. So first we do pandemic in dimension tag equals puppet. If there's a puppet, you're holding the medical kit, and the setting is not enabled, the unlimited dispatchers. So that's 0565. Okay, cool. Okay. So let's see. Ooh. I have 4 cards, which means if I can just place down a research center, then all should be well. So let's check first what the actual location is. Okay, map labeled. Okay, let's open this guy up. Ho Chi Minh City is 48. So oops. No, did not mean to do that. Okay. So what are we trying to do? I have a card that says, oh, not this player, this player. So I have a card that says Ho Chi Minh City, but it's going to have a specific ID. What's the ID? City ID is 47, and 47 is Sydney. Okay, so that means I need to get to Sydney to place this research station. Let's do that. So we go to Sydney. Now we place this research station at Ho Chi Minh City. I want to build a research station. Oh no. No! Why are you doing that? No! Okay. Nope, it's still doing that on loop. Why? Is it in choose player action? And then also, why can't I place a research station there? Player actions, let's turn on some more music. Let's do Resurgence. Assuming I can select the music. Okay. Let's see. So why can I not place a research station here? I want to build a research station. Oh. Oh, it's because action to 0. Okay. Gotcha. So that means in rotate turn, we need to make sure that the puppetry doesn't get too much. Okay. Tag equals puppet, remove puppet. Okay, I would like to remove puppet. There we go. Let's reload. And now I would like to place a research station right here. Yay! Okay, and now I would like to cure the blue disease. Okay, blue disease has now been cured. And yes, we're almost about to lose, but that's fine, it doesn't matter. Okay, now here's the other question. Can I teleport to that research station. I cannot. Okay. That is a problem. Let's go into display options and see what we can do about that. TP to research station. So I should also be able to do teleport to the research station, right? Yeah. Okay. Because I misspelled it to be match city ID. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's get over to Manila. Why not? Okay, so blue disease is cured now. And it's also occurred to me that I forgot to actually program the eradicated system. So we got to do that. Okay. No! Game over? What? Yellow disease at Miami. Black at Chennai and Osaka again. Dang it, Osaka. Okay. Well, we learned something. Okay. Game over. Right. Okay. So first of all, when we rotate the turn, we need to make sure that we actually eradicate the diseases as they're supposed to be. Pandemic, eradicate diseases. Okay. Okay, so first we're gonna do, let's pop into displays when we're promoting the status. Okay, so we're gonna do, so if that block is a yellow wool, and then if score actually we're not going to update that here. We're going to directly update that in the thing, the display. So this is in display disease status. Pandemic the displays eradicate diseases. So now we're going to open this and say execute if score or in board games pandemic if block. Okay. So we check if okay. So if this block is a yellow wool and yellow amount is 0, then we set block at where? Okay, 656.5. Okay. Okay. Set block here, an amethyst block. And then if that's a blue wool, and there are no more blues left, there's all 5 diseases, so we need black. Then we got pink and red. There we go. That's black and red and pink. From there, we're gonna run the function pandemic promote status, which shouldn't do anything if none of the amethysts are active. Okay. Promote status. And then if the disease is, let's actually run a play sound here. Entity.experience bottle. Actually, this should be what's the XP sound? Let's see. Experience sounds. Okay, entity.player. Uh, 1000 1.0. Okay. There we go. Okay. So that happens anytime that we we should do this whenever we have a successful status promotion. Okay. If score p temp, p successful promote matches 1. Okay. And then we do this. Pandemic in dimension. Okay. And then we gotta do scoreboard objectives, remove p successful promote, and then we gotta do actually, well, we can just do this. Then we don't need to check for successful promotion, and we just make the checking part smarter. Yeah, I feel like that would be a better idea. So in that case we do, unless this is a sandstone, board games pandemic, unless that's a sandstone, and that's a sandstone, okay. So we need 57, 58, 59, and 60. There we go. Okay. So this checks for the disease eradication. Okay, cool. And we do that as part of displaying the disease statuses. Okay. Let's see. Let's see, when we promote the status, okay, so when we eradicate diseases, okay, so then we're gonna fill 656.5, 665 with sandstone, which means eradicate diseases can't be done as part of the display of the status, and instead it should actually be done as like when we're rotating the turn. Okay, so if you have one or more actions, that's when we eradicate the diseases. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool. And then eradicating the diseases. Yeah, because you're not going to be intentionally placing the diseases anywhere. Okay, cool. Let's reload. And also, that should be game over. That is bizarre. Okay, display outbreaks. Oh, forgot to program that as well. If score p temp, p outbreaks matches 8 or more, then we run the function, pandemic end round, lose. Okay. Okay, so if we increment any further, then it's game over. Okay, let's see if we can save this. So I'm gonna treat the red. Okay. And with any luck, that loss is gonna come in 3, 2, 1. Oh, I accidentally put everything in Johannesburg. Oops. Alright. Oh, game is frozen. It appears the game is frozen. Uh-oh. That's not good. Did we hit a command limit? Oh no. Oh. Ow. Ow. Now why did it do that? Ah, because it ended the game. Okay. Ow. Well then. Okay, what's on with eradicate command? Okay. Line 9. Unless block. And unless block. There we go. Okay. Import games pandemic. If this block, so if the game is over, we'll do nothing. We need to make sure that that's the case. Okay. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. And we're gonna comment that out for now, because we still need to have our levers in place. Okay. Wow. Oh. Let's put my own hair. So. We also have a visual thing to update, which is role cards should have the name of the role in the board. Okay. So that was one game of Pandemic. That was basically the first test. Okay. Nobody's on anymore, so the question is, do we continue with the second test? Like, it's gonna look more of the same. It's gonna look like more of the same, but now the other mechanisms are actually working. So, and I'll just be doing multiple different games with the, what's it called? I'll be trying to do multiple games with different settings and different roles and stuff like that. So, it is now 11 p.m. And unfortunately, I think we need to bust. Well, actually, game's basically working at this point. Like, we've ironed out most of the kinks. The only thing left to do is to test out all the different variations of settings. But each of those variations are going to have, is just going to be more of the same. So there's nothing really left to see. So you know what? Maybe it's not so much Pandemic or bust. We didn't really bust. We just we did a successful test. And so we should stop here. I think that's a reasonable thing to do. One last thing. Master reset. Does it work? It better. And it works. Excellent. Okay. So there's just one last thing before we can leave. And that is placing this drop item command block. Come on, let me fly, please. I would very much like to fly, please. Come on, let me fly. Let me fly, dang it. What is the matter with you? Okay, so we're also actively running into an issue of my computer hates me. So I think, yeah, this is actually a good place to stop. There we go. Okay. Let's place this here. There we go. And we save this to the room. Okay. And there we go. Let's put on, grab our fireworks and the elytra, and fly off into the sunset. So, thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye! Later!